Is this going up tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 202. If you guys are out there looking for the Rhabdo monster, it is actually real. It is not a unicorn. And we got some living proof right here. My man right here is Sonny. Actually, really weird, inspirational. Is it inspirational? Really weird situation that happened. And I get contacted through the WODdoc website. Said, listen, I got this story to tell you about Rhabdomyolysis, and I think you'd be interested. And of course, I tried to jump on it. I'm always trying to learn, trying to move on and educate myself so I can educate you guys as well. And for those of you guys that don't know what rhabdomyolysis is, it's weird because I've actually done papers and kind of defended rhabdomyolysis and its involvement in CrossFit, because it turns out that it's actually a lot lower of an instance than many people think. So low that most places don't even have statistics on it. There's a couple different forms of rhabdomyolysis. There's what they call traumatic rhabdomyolysis, and then there's non-traumatic or exercise-induced. And that's what we're talking about today. When we talk about CrossFit, or we're talking about endurance or ballistic or strenuous, I think is the word, type activities that will cause rhabdomyolysis, this is what we're talking about. So let's define it first. What is rhabdomyolysis? Rhabdomyolysis is when we get muscular destruction, however that happens. And when we get enough muscular destruction, when muscles break apart, they spill out their contents into the bloodstream. And when enough of that muddies up the water, so to speak, it can have detrimental effects to the things that filter out our blood, which of course are going to be our kidneys, right? I always give this example. I say, you know, if you shovel in a shovel full of dirt into your hot tub or pool, right?
Sure, why not?
Then you know, your filter will probably have a hard time with it, but it'll get by, it'll get through. It might stress it a little bit. However, if you come up and you dump you know, a whole wheelbarrow in, I can't say my R's now. My whole wheelbarrow in. It's probably going to mess the whole system up and break something down. That's basically what we're thinking about when we think of rhabdomyolysis. If we get some cellular destruction or some muscular destruction which dumps out the cells, the contents of the muscles into the bloodstream, we'll probably be all right. If we get a whole bunch, that's not good. So I'm here with Sonny. Sonny's from CrossFit, and the interesting thing about this is he's a long-time CrossFitter. How long have you been CrossFitting for?
Since 2011.
So Sonny's been CrossFitting since 2011, and he's going to tell us kind of how it happened. I'm going to give you a little recap, and then he's going to tell you what he did. Basically, 2011, how many times a week?
Anywhere from 3 to 5. 3
to 5 days a week for a substantial amount of time. He's not a beginner. He knows all the movements. He's done all the things. To the point where you were doing some pull-ups, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Pull-ups is what caused this.
Pull-ups is what caused this, and how many did you do?
The workout was 5 rounds of max effort, and I ended up doing 125 over those 5 rounds. 125
pull-ups over 5 rounds, which is, again, nothing to scoff at, right? I mean, that's a substantial amount. But as when we were talking about this, we were doing this little interview thing, you told me that there was a break between that, right? So although we had a fairly conditioned athlete, basically I'm talking about you, right? And then we had some time off. How much time did you take off?
I took about 3 weeks off of CrossFit, but I'd say about 4 weeks since I've done a pull-up.
Okay, yeah. So about 4 weeks in between that effort, and then we followed up with 5 rounds of max effort, which would probably be hard for anyone, even if they were, you know, continuing to do that a bunch, right?
Yeah.
But then what happened? So we talk about the first thing that we learned when we go to our CrossFit level 1, rhabdomyolysis. We got soda pop colored urine. But is that the first thing that happened, or tell me exactly how that went through?
Sure. So Monday was the workout. It was Monday night. I felt great after the workout. Tuesday morning I woke up and my arms are stuck.
So despite popular belief, when you get rhabdomyolysis, you don't just all of a sudden feel atrocious right after that workout. You felt pretty good.
I felt great.
But you woke up in the morning.
Yeah, so Monday night felt great. Woke up Tuesday morning and my arms were stuck at 90 degrees.
Right. So we had stiffness, soreness, pain, inability to move with the arms, and then that continued on for a couple days, correct?
Yes. I mean, at first I thought it was DOMS. Then Tuesday.
That's delayed onset muscle soreness, guys.
Yep. So Tuesday, the pain actually increased, which was very weird for me because throughout Tuesday I was trying to massage it.
Right.
So Tuesday I was trying to massage a little bit. Wednesday morning the pain increased, which was very rare to me. It's never happened to me before. Usually the pain subsides immediately. Wednesday, I go throughout it. Thursday, the swelling increases. Now, throughout this entire point, I have no indication of brown urine or anything like that.
Right. So a little recap, we do a strenuous exercise, feel great, next morning wake up, soreness persists throughout a couple days, and then swelling starts to accumulate in that area, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And still no sign of the soda-colored urine?
No, that actually happened Friday morning.
Okay.
So Friday morning was my first indication of Coca-Cola color.
5 days later?
4 days later.
4 days
Monday to
later.
Friday.
Monday night, okay. Yeah, 4 days later.
And, I wake up in the morning and take my morning urine, I guess, and it was brown. And I was kind of scared, so the first thing I did was I took 3 more cups of water, and I tried to urinate again, and it was brown again. At that point, I knew something was wrong, and I sped off to the ER.
Right. Okay. So we went to the ER. So basically, we have after swelling induced, and that was 4 days later. The next day after that, that's when we had. So 4 days later, that's when we started to get. 4 or 5 days later, we got brown colored urine.
4.
4 days later. So it's a substantial amount of time. We could talk about why. Check back on the page why your urine color turns brown and all that other stuff. But basically, remember what we said: muscular cell destruction. Enough of that contents pours out. Well, there's some of that contents that will alter the color of your urine, and that's why they talk about this soda-colored pop urine and everything like that. So, while you were here, what was your treatment?
So the first thing they did was put me on this saline drip at about 200 milliliters per hour.
Right.
So that equates to 5 liters per day.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone my size, I'm 140 pounds. Someone my size, that's about 2.5 times my body weight in ounces of saline drip.
Right, and they normally say about half your body weight in ounces per day you like to drink, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
okay.
That was the first treatment. Then and I was admitted Friday. Sunday, my CK levels increased a little bit. So the second part of treatment was a strict bed rest, right? So I wasn't allowed to walk around. I wasn't really, besides going to the bathroom, I wasn't allowed to leave my bed.
Right. So basically our treatment then was hydration and rest.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess that's what it comes down to. Obviously, intravenous hydration, that's a little bit different than regular hydration, but hydration and rest, right?
Yeah, basically.
Exactly. You're not going anywhere fast. Anyway, so here's the take-home points and the things that I really want you guys to understand. The reason why I found this so, I don't want to say entertaining, but so interesting, right, myself, is because I've been around it. I've heard about these cases. I've read different cases and stuff like that, but I've never seen one close enough to me that I can actually interview. And the great thing about it is, Sonny is an athlete himself. He's not a person who wasn't very active in the population of CrossFit. He knew all the I guess the risks associated with it and stuff like that. But yet sometimes these things happen. That's not to say, and I really want to stress this, not to say that you go out and you do some type of exercise and you're going to get rhabdomyolysis. He's been doing it for how long?
3 years.
3 years, 3+ years, and we had this incident. And we kind of openly admitted what kind of happened there. Was there...
So, yeah, I'll be the first to admit it. My ego got in the way. I took about 3 weeks worth of rest. I competed in mid-December. I took a week off of rest there. I went on vacation for the holidays, took 2 weeks off of rest there, came back. This was my third workout back, my first pull-up workout back in about 4 weeks. And I was, the capacity that I went at was like I was ready to compete the next day. And it was kind of
Here's
silly.
the thing that I really like that we talk about. I don't need you to be humble. I don't necessarily want you to be like, oh, it's all my fault. That's not what I mean. This is what I want you guys to see as the trend. If we are used to working at a certain work ethic, right, certain work capacity, if we take some time off, we need to have a gradual exposure to that exercise again. These are ways that we can prevent it, right? So number one tips to preventing anything like this is watch our ego, right? I mean, there's a certain amount of things that we want to do. Of course, we want to push ourselves hard, but watch that ego, right? But second, and probably even more importantly, because everybody has ego, especially in the gym, is it's graded exposure to an exercise. So if I used to be a 6-minute miler and all of a sudden I come back out after a year off, most likely I can't run a 6-minute mile again. So for me to try to do that at that level of strenuous or strain is very difficult. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to follow a rule of 20%. If I'm going to take a month off, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to start at a comfortable level, say 50% of whatever I was doing prior to entering the gym, and I'm going to add 20% per week. And that is a good idea or a good way that we could possibly prevent this, right? Because would you say if we didn't max out 5 times afterwards, it probably wouldn't have happened, or had
totally
at least would be less likely.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to wrap up, guys. I know this one's a little bit different than most of all the exercises or all the videos that I did, but I thought it would be so important to share with you guys. So we basically have a correlation of events. We have an athlete, fairly well-rounded, athletic, came in after some weeks off, 3-4 weeks off, then did a very strenuous exercise, maxed out 5 times within a span of 14 minutes, I believe, when I was talking to him about.
Yeah.
Then felt great after that. Next morning, woke up, had severe soreness, followed by pain and stiffness, followed by swelling, and then finally started to get some of that soda pop colored urine, which then he took him to the hospital, which then what they treated with was bed rest and saline. Does that sound good?
That's exactly
Is that a good wrap up? Guys, plenty about this on my page. I'm going to document this, try to talk about it, try to just educate everybody else about it as well. More education, like I said. The only knowledge that is bad knowledge is the knowledge that we don't share. So hopefully I can collect this, make sense of it, and share it with you guys. Sonny, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Till tomorrow, guys, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.